So first item of business is roll call. Let's see, all commissioners. I'm David Walter.
Eric Sanders.
Nick Kappas.
Okay, and then staff, please.
Christina Finley, hand department.
Eric Sater, also with hand.
Hi, Eric. Jeff Underwood, City Controller / Treasurer.
Doris.
Larry Allen, legal. Oh, sorry, Doris.
Doris Sims, hand department.
Larry Allen, legal. Rudely interrupting Doris Sims, hand department.
Kevin Curran with the Controller's Office.
Okay, and then I'd like to make a suggestion here as we go through the next items of business that require a second and a motion, a second, and a vote, that we just vote alphabetical order. That way, then we're not all trying to talk at the same time. That puts me last.
That works.
But I'm used to that. So next item of business is reading the minutes of June 15th and June 29th. Are there any corrections or comments on either of those meetings? If there are not, then I need a motion to accept the meeting minutes.
So
Move to-
This is Eric Sanders.
A second. This is Nick Kappas.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Nick Kappas, aye.
Sandweiss, aye.
Walter, aye. Okay, next item is examination of claims, June 26, 2020 for $1,440,948.74. Any questions about the claims? If no questions, I need a motion.
So moved. Or I guess it would be more of move to accept the claims as presented by Dave Warren.
Thanks, Alex.
Eric Sandweiss seconds the motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Kappas, aye.
Sandweiss, aye.
Walter, aye.
Griffin, aye.
Hey, Don.
Don's in.
I couldn't find the link. Oh
Yeah.
my God. So Alex sent it to me. So thank you, Alex.
Okay, we'll hand it on over to Don Griffith. We're on item Roman numeral 4, examination of payroll registers.
Man, you were quick. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the payroll registers for June 19th, 2020?
I'll move that we accept the payroll registers.
Kappas, second.
All those in favor?
Kappas, aye.
Sandweiss, aye.
Walter,
Griffin,
aye.
aye. Griffin, aye. Motion passes.
Oh, Don, something we decided we would do is just when we're voting, we do it in alphabetical order.
Holy cow. That's going to take me, that's got to go back.
You're number one though, Don. So don't worry about it.
Oh, is that right? Okay, nicely done. All right. I love it. I love it. That's a good move.
Well, as chair, you can't make a motion, but you can always make the first vote to approve a motion.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Very cool. I love it. So a motion is approved. Report of officers and committees. Is there a director's report? No director today. Is there
No,
a
she's
legal
on.
report? Huh?
Doris is on.
Oh, she is? Oh, that's right. She doesn't have to be here to be on.
Well, but Eric is the director for today.
Okay.
I'm visiting.
Gotcha. I have nothing to add then.
Okay. Is there a legal report?
No legal report today, but I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Okay. Is there a treasurer's report? No.
No, there is.
Oh, okay.
I So Kevin Curran of our office has joined us in. And as promised, we are going to present the 2019 fiscal reports for the various RDC funds. And we sent that to Christina will send that out to all of you. It's a PDF. And if she has the ability, could she present that? And Kevin will take it away. He's our director of budgeting and internal audit.
Hold on, Jeff. I'll just make him a co-host.
Kevin, are you able to present once she makes you a co-host, or do I need to do it?
I have never shared my screen before, so I'm guessing I probably can. But knowing how is maybe going to be part of the challenge.
I think you just click on share your screen. Just click on share your screen right in the middle at the bottom, and then click on the exhibit.
Okay, will do. Let's see. Okay, can everyone see that?
May take a second. So far, nothing.
All right.
Does he have a camera, Jeff? Do you know? Do you have a camera, Kevin?
I do not know.
But he's not going to be able to share, Jeff.
Okay, make me the co-host then. Oh, wait a minute. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got it. We're good to go.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, so I'll take you through the various funds. Basically, we do a roll forward of the cash balances by project, by major project. So I'll touch on the big ticket items, and then, if there are any questions, feel free to ask along the way. So starting with the consolidated TIF, which is Fund 439, we started with a balance of $19,976,037. We had about $10.8 million of revenue, most of which was property taxes. We had some interest income, some grants, and other small items, but primarily it's funded by property taxes. And then I'll just touch on some of the bigger expense items. We had bond and lease payments of just over $2.8 million. The Winslow Henderson side path, we had a little over $1.2 million in expenditures. You'll see I have highlighted Dimension Mill and Trades District. I do that because I total them, from there are expenses that are borne by multiple funds. And so because that crosses multiple funds, I highlighted that and then have a total at the bottom. Relatively low spend last year out of 439, but there were some other expenses that were incurred in other funds that you'll see in a little bit. The West 17th Street road construction was just under $2.4 million. 4th Street parking garage, a little over $1.6 million. And then the convention center parking garage was just under $5 million. So we had, again, we had income of $10.8 million. We had expenses of $13.6 million, leaving us with an ending balance as of 12/31 of just under $17.2 million. The Prow Road TIF, it's Fund 446, not a whole lot of activity. We started with a balance of just under $680,000, had a total revenue of almost $109,000. Again, the majority being property taxes and then some interest as well. And then the spend was $18,000 on Cascades Trail, so not a lot of activity in that particular fund.
Hey, Kevin, let me jump in for just a second because we got one brand new member and Eric's relatively new. we used to have multiple TIF funds, so like downtown and Thompson and some others. And in 2015, under state statute, we were allowed to consolidate those and issue debt on those. So, and we actually expanded them as well. So we took multiples of different TIF areas, combined them into one. So that's why we call it the consolidated TIF. We continue to track expenditures within each of those allocation areas, and some of them have expiration dates that are sooner than the end of the consolidated bond that Kevin will talk about here in a second, as far as the expenditures out of that. The one that we didn't was the Proud Road, which is north of town. It's the Cook building that's out there, and the small medical plaza. So it's not very large. There's not a lot of activity that goes on, and primarily we funded Cascades Park type of expenditures out of that, including a lot of side path and sidewalk projects to extend actually out as far as we can get with the money that we've got in the fund towards the park itself. So just wanted to give Nick some background that there used to be a lot more of these, but we did consolidate them down in. But we did promise both the council and the RDC that we would continue to track expenditures by those different allocation areas, so that we could show that the concern was, well, we'll just all end up spending it in, say, the downtown and not the other areas. And so as you all that's been on for a while, you know, we've approved projects all throughout the consolidated TIF. So I did want to jump in and provide that information. Go ahead, Kevin.
I appreciate that.
Okay, so continuing on, the next fund is, as Jeff mentioned, the Consolidated TIF Bond Fund, which is Fund 976. We started with 30 million, just under 30.4 million of cash balance. We had 408,000 interest income for the year, and then the obviously the single largest expenditure was related to Switchyard Park, was just under 20.7 million. As I mentioned before, we have the additional trades district spend of 687,000, and then that'll tie into the balance at the end. But total expenses of just under 20.5 million, bringing our balance as of the end of the year at 9.3 million. The next fund is the CTP fund, Fund 430. We started with a balance of 148,000, had interest of 2,000, and spend on the Dimension Mill project of 82,000. And so I did combine those two, the Dimension Mill and the Trades District in the total at the bottom. So we had expenditures of 82.4 thousand, leaving us with an ending balance of 67.4 thousand. The Housing Trust, Housing Trust Fund 905, we had a beginning balance of just under 1.3 million. We had interest revenue, principal repayment, and then grant revenue for a total of 79,105. We had expenses for HDP Bloomington Cooperative Living of 242,000, giving us an ending balance of 1,131,000. Then the CTP bond Fund 975, we had a beginning balance of 145, just under 146,000. Didn't have any revenue and had minimal expenses on the Dimension Mill of just under 4,000, leaving us with a balance of 142,000. And then you can see at the bottom the Trades District across all funds, and that included the Dimension Mill spend as well, was 863,000. And then obviously Switchyard Park was a significant spend at just under 20.8 million. So that's that.
So my quick question right now is, Larry, you had mentioned that the consolidation, that there's also a little bit of an expansion of the funds. Did I mishear that?
No, when we, Nick, it was Jeff, not Larry. That's okay.
Sorry, Jeff.
People get
Yeah,
us
sorry.
confused all the time. We're so both good looking.
Exactly.
Yeah, we expanded when we consolidated. We expanded the areas. Basically, if you look at the consolidated TIF, if you look at it on a map, it's basically a reverse E with the spine going down essentially from around 17th Street on the north side all the way down to I believe it's Roar south. And then we go down the major arterials. So 2nd Street, 3rd Street, and 17th Street out west side.
And do those include the big box stores on the other side of 67, 39, or whatever? Or
A little bit,
37,
a little bit, but not much. Yeah, because actually Whitehall Crossing, there's actually a little bit of an overlay between the county's TIF and our TIF. So we do go almost all the way over to city boundary that would be just east of like GE, the old GE plant.
Right. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And then
they overlay on top of that. So.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Then my second question is 20,774,000 on Switchyard Park just in 2019. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And that project is finishing up this year, so there'll be some expenditures in 20 on that one.
Should probably just note on Switchyard Park, I think the overall budget for the construction of that was somewhere around 34 million, I believe, Nick. So the bulk of the construction happening in 2019, I think that's why you see it in that 20 million.
Okay. All right. That helps with my better understanding of that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and the other thing is that on the right-hand side of it, as we do, we try to track the resolutions for you because obviously come on. So we'll show the original one, and then you can see like animal shelter had a bunch. You can see it going all the way out there. So we do track those back and keep a hold of those for you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Any more questions? Okay, is there a CTP update report?
Hey, it's Alex. No, none today.
Okay. All right. Hey, thank you for your reports. The next item of business or new business, and this starts our public hearing portion. The next item of business is Resolution 20-35, approval of the COVID-19 Review Committee recommendations. Is there anyone that would wish to speak in regards to this resolution?
I can speak. This is Eric Sater, Assistant Director of HAND. So just a bit of background for folks. We tend to get an annual allocation of community development block grant funds. This is in addition to that usual allocation. So it was a decent amount at $525,656. It has to hit all of the regular requirements of community development block grant, but there's an additional layer of requirement, which is prevention, preparation, and response through the CARES Act to COVID-19. And so you're looking at kind of that dual layer of eligibility when we're seeing these applications. So with the amount that's allowed, there are some flexibilities that were also allowed through the CARES Act. One of these flexibilities was the lifting of a cap on public services. So instead of a 15% cap, we could spend that we wanted, essentially, toward public services, which tends to be an area that we like to focus on, particularly when we're looking at spending these dollars. We had to focus on expediency, and that's some of the easiest ways we can do it. Instead of building something, for instance, we can funnel this money through our social service agencies to take action. And so with that, we only thought we needed about half of the 20% allowed for administration, which would be about $52,566, so 10% to go toward admin, and the rest we intend to funnel toward different public service agencies in town to meet national objectives while responding to COVID-19 needs. So that's $473,000 that would go toward COVID. In regard to the particular approvals in Exhibit A that we're requesting, the short of it is we were originally trying to prioritize certain needs such as housing, such as childcare, such as food, and we did so, but we ended up only getting applications that didn't actually hit that full allocation. And so any money that was applied for that met all of the eligibility criteria, ultimately the committee decided to fund. This committee was a bit of a slimmed down committee, in part for expediency, as I mentioned, largely internal, but we also had John Barata externally, Beverly Callender Anderson from CFRD. So still a group of folks, and we did receive public input on this. But in short, anyone who applied, that would be Boys and Girls Club, Hoosier Hills, Middle Way House, Mother Hubbard's, My Sister's Closet, New Hope for Families, New Leaf New Life, Shalom Community Center. Those were the agencies that at least some of their funds were eligible for expenditures. And so the committee decided to recommend approval to the full amount possible of eligible expenses in those applications. And so that would add up, I believe, to $253,862, which means we would still have several $100,000 to spend in a second round. And so hopefully we can do some additional outreach, some more targeted outreach now that we know what we'll fund in this first round, and have another round in the next couple months to spend the remaining funds there. So we're seeking approval of the round one expenditures, which again are everything that was eligible, we thought made sense for the community, and we'd like to go ahead and get those funds out there.
Okay. Any questions from any commissioners in regards to resolution 20-35? Right, who wants to make a motion?
Just briefly, Don, because this is a public hearing, at this point, we need to.
Okay, so are there any public comments or questions in regarding resolution 20-35? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from commissioners in regards to this resolution? And if
Not a question, just a comment for the record to thank the committee and the applicants alike for helping us to take needed advantage of this new opportunity.
I think that this is an appropriate way to be able to get the money in a quick fashion to those that need it, and what better way to the social services that are, fighting this on a day-to-day basis. So.
Was there a motion in any of that you guys did?
You were still
just comments.
Comments.
Yeah.
Okay.
I move to approve 20-35.
Okay. Second.
I'll second Nick's motion. This is David Walter.
All right. All those in favor? I, Don Griffin.
Kappas, aye.
Sandweiss, aye.
Walter, yes.
Motion is approved. Next item of business is resolution 20-36. This is the addendum to CSO design agreement. Who would like or need to speak? Who would love to speak in regards to this resolution?
I can speak briefly to it. So CSO has been our architect for the 4th Street and Trades District Garage. As you know, with the 4th Street garage in particular, it required a redesign to redesign it for the smaller footprint. This is essentially an addendum to their agreement to cover the services for that smaller footprint, to do all of the final design work for that particular area for the new 4th Street garage. As you'll see, this additional amount for the redesign was $281,200, which brought the total funding to just over $1 million for their design services on the garage.
Any questions in regards to this resolution, folks?
My first question is, what was the original budget for architectural design? Was there one?
Yeah, there was one.
Larry, you jumping for that one?
Do you want to take this one, Jeff?
If you'll give me a second, I can open up my spreadsheet that's got.
And you know what? While you're looking for that, can I ask the public if they have any questions? I think I'm going to do that. Anyone from the public have any questions in regards to Resolution 20-36? Okay. Nope. So go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, I'm the difficult one.
It's actually not difficult at all. The problem was, one of the things we had these combined at one point, the trades district and the 4th Street garages. And so we've since separated them out. And so now it's like a matter of just figuring out where we separated them out. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine. It just seems
hang on
that
just a second.
there.
It was. It was. Where's my?
Was it 1.6 for both or something like that?
It was, let's see, the amendment was for
281.
Yeah, so it was about around $400,000 or so. Because the combined contract's 691 now.
Hold on.
Wait a minute, that's not right. Opened up the wrong file. Hang on.
You're good.
Too many versions of my reconciliation for the garage.
It's been through quite the ringer.
There we go. Because I knew it was a calculation. So the total is 972.2. The first contract was 691 for 4th Street.
Okay. So we're up to 1 mil. So
just slightly less. Yeah.
It's slightly, yeah, 972. So my question is then, how does that, is this a situation where what we've talked about before with change orders, where there's a certain amount that you've allocated as a buffer that this would eat up from a budgeting standpoint?
Good question. Actually, Dick, we will be bringing to you the final GMP on the 20th. We had originally thought we would do it today, but we are more comfortable reconciling that, taking a little bit more time. And actually, in that request, we'll go through where we're at. But just to give you a highlight, I think we're probably going to have sufficient funds on hand out of the bond based on some value engineering that we're going to do. But probably what we're going to come and do is on 4th Street is ask for an additional $500,000 in the funding agreement so that we can accept all of the alternates that was in the last bid. However, we do have built into that a contingency of about that amount. And we're going to also have some value engineering that they're reviewing. So that was one of the reasons why we wanted to bump that to the 20th is CSO is evaluating those. These were recommendations backed by the low bidders on some possible savings. So essentially what we would do is bump our contingency up by $500,000. And then we would just keep track of that and let you all know if we use that. But the hope is, based on the last reconciliation that I did with Josh with Core, is that we may not need those additional funds between the contingency that we had built in and the value engineering. But I didn't want to cut it that close. I'd rather
Right.
come back to the money up front and then come back and tell you whether we need it or not. But I'm hoping we won't.
Okay, well, that makes sense. I appreciate the lowdown on all that, Larry. I mean, Jeff. Sorry, sorry, Jeff. I'm so sorry. I'm trying
That's
to
all right.
figure this out.
I've been called many things. Nick, when life gets back to normal, I'll invite you to come into my office and see the plaque that sits above my desk that has a number of my nicknames that I have garnered my second time around. And there's a story
Jeff, we
behind
haven't
all of them.
met.
Alex is on the call and he's just laughing because he knows about all.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
Hey, depending on what those value-added cost-cutting things are, can we still have both options? Do you think? Because I'm just saying, do you think that aesthetically it's going to change things at all? I mean, because we're talking about a project we're talking about a building that's gonna last for, I mean, how long's the life of this? 60 years at least?
50, well, I'm hoping. So that's the plan. Yeah, it's kind of down to.
We would rather have something that we're comfortable with looking at.
Yeah, I mean, essentially it gets down to the final two alternates are some build out on the commercial space and the build out of the offices, parking garage offices. And so we believe those are both very valuable projects. I'm very certain that if we would have to bid after the fact, that they would increase the cost more than what the alternates are going to be. So the goal is to add in all the alternates, which includes the extra floor, which is a full floor on the garage. It includes painting the crash wall on the art that would be on the sides facing the art, because we think from the artist's recommendation is that it will make the art pop more, so that we don't have this kind of plain gray background in behind the mesh that they're going to put up. It puts that second elevator in, which we think is extremely important. So everything that we did as alternates, we believe are needed, and we believe they add to the garage. And we'd like to go ahead and fund them now, because we think it's going to be the lowest cost alternative as a part of that. But we did that so that we could see them as we went through the funding. But we got some very competitive bids. I think we got at least two bidders on everything but concrete, which Wilhelm was the only bidder, and they just kind of scared everybody else off. But CSO and Core and myself have reviewed their bids. We think they're very competitive. They also bid on and got some of the concrete work on Trades District, so it was very comparable. And it does fit within the statute of allowing them to self-perform. It'll be under 20%. So we think we've got a great package to bring to you guys, and we just want to have the ability to do these extras that we think are needed.
Okay. We still have our public bathrooms, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
All the amenities that we talked about. So all the green features are included. The solar's in there. The bicycle parking, the bicycle repair stuff, the bicycle garages, black storage, the electrical cars, plug-ins, compact cars, all of that is included. I think we're going to end up with a really, for a garage, we're going to have a very nice garage. And, I know there's opponents to any kind of a structured parking, but again, it's going up. It's compact urban form, and we think we've got some great pricing on it.
Okay, cool. Any other questions, guys and gals? Just guys today.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to accept resolution 20-36.
I'll second the motion. This is Eric Sandweiss.
All in favor? Aye, Don Griffin.
Aye, Kappas.
Sandweiss, aye.
Walter, aye.
None opposed. The motion carries. The next item of business is resolution 20-37. Change order number 7 for West 17th Street reconstruction.
Just briefly, I know that we're going to have our planning person speak to this, but there was a correction that I sent out to you all. The change order was off by $1,000. It should have been $13,000 instead of $12,000. So there's an amended resolution that you should have received in email just to look at for this. And with that, I'll let Matt take it away since this is his baby.
Good evening, Matt Smithers with Planning and Transportation. Change order 7 is for 2 items. There's additional rent payment for the field office. After the original completion date for the project was November of 19, and when they got pushed to June of this year because of the utility delays and the rock excavation delays, we had to pay for the field office for additional months. We have a consultant inspector who is using the field office. Back in April, the consultant switched inspectors. The new inspector said they didn't need the field office any longer to complete the project. So this is just for 5 months from December through April. The second item is for additional tree removal. There were 2 trees on the project that were supposed to remain, but after the grading was completed, the dirt goes up about 1 foot or so onto these 2 trees. We talked with the city's urban forester, and she determined it's best to go ahead and remove the trees. The long-term health was not good in her estimation. Since we had already put our sidewalk and sod and other new investments here, they had to bring a crane in to remove the 2 trees so that those items weren't damaged. And that's why the cost is more than what we normally see to take some trees down. We also are adding 5 days to the contract with this change order. The removal of the trees was in conflict with working on the walls, so that's appropriate to add the 5 days. This change order also is pending approval of the Board of Public Works. We're on the agenda with them tomorrow evening. And as was already mentioned, the total for this change order is $13,540.75. I can answer any questions you may have.
Any questions from the audience or the public in regards to resolution 20-37? None. How about commissioners? No, okay. Do we have a motion?
I move to approve resolution 20-37.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye, Don Griffin.
Aye, Kappas.
Sandweiss.
Aye, Walter.
Motion is approved. The next item of business is resolution 20-38, extension of agreement and funding for trade district lawn care. Who wants to speak in regards to this resolution?
I can do that unless, Larry, you want to do it?
It doesn't matter. Either way, I can do it briefly, Alex, and you can correct anything that I completely get wrong. We could try it that way. I like my public humiliation. So the city lawn, they've been mowing the trades district lawn. We had a contract with them from last year. This is to extend it through this year. They have continued to mow the trades district. We had communicated with them that we had desired to have them continue mowing it. So this is just to update the budget amount. I think last year we had budgeted around $7,000 for the entire year for the maintenance of the trades district. However, we didn't use that much So there's a reduced amount for 2020 to 6,000, which is enough to cover what we have used for 2019 and give us a little bit of wiggle room in case there's more rain or more growth for some reason. But this is essentially to continue that contract on. We do have this expiring at the end of the year, and we'll negotiate with City Lawn at the end of the year to see if they want to take the option for the next 2 years of their contract as well at the end of 2020. So,
okay. Any questions from the public in regards to Resolution 20-38? None. Commissioners?
I like the reduction.
Yeah, me too. Who wants to-
Approval of 2038, if there's no further discussion.
Kappas, seconds.
All those in favor? Aye. Don Griffin?
Aye. Kappas.
Sandweiss, yes.
Walter, yes.
Fantastic. None opposed, and so the motion carries. All right, thank you. You got any other business, general business or anything? Did you guys hear that Cindy's mother died? That's why she's not here. So you guys talked about that already?
No, we didn't know that. I didn't know about that.
Yeah. You guys, should we do a card or something?
Yeah, I believe so. That'd
Well,
be
we can-
appropriate.
Sorry, we can do that for you. We can send a card out from the commissioners. I know she emailed Christina and I, told us she would not be here. She didn't, she just said a family member passed away. She didn't say it was her mother.
Yeah, it's her
So-
mom.
So I'll be happy to send a card on behalf of the redevelopment commissioners. I don't know if you want to each sign it. If you do, you can come into the office. We can leave it at the front desk.
What do you guys think? I mean, should we sign it? That might, I know that's an extra step, but I only have one mom, so it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's sign it. Let's
Yeah.
all come in and sign it.
Just let us know when you get the card and we can go ahead and come in.
Okay, so I'm away from the office until Thursday. So if you can plan on coming in Thursday, if that'll work for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that works.
Yeah, it works. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I guess if there's nothing else, guys, meeting adjourned.